An Indiana police officer just face-slammed a 100-pound teenage girl into concrete over a 7-mile-per-hour speed difference. This incident is so unhinged and disgusting, it demands a full analysis through the lens of the four eyes of law.
It was terrifying. As soon as I hit the ground, I just remember looking across the pavement and just thinking to myself, there's no way this is happening. And like when he was taking me to the car, I was like, this just feels like a really bad dream. It didn't even feel like it was happening. It was out of body for me.
Kat, thank you. Sticking with ITM8 now, and the public outcry over the arrest of a high school senior back in January.
ITM8's Cody Fisher uncovered the officer was fired only after public outcry reached a fever pitch.
This is the gas station parking lot here in South Whitley that a high school senior was ripped out of her car and arrested just moments after being pulled over for speeding. At 3:44 p.m. on January 24th, Vivian Augustus was pulled over by South Whitley police officer Brian Schimmel. This video from the gas station was obtained by Vivian's family through the courts. They released it to the public over a week ago. Just 16 seconds after starting to talk with Officer Schimmel, Schimmel opens the driver's side door. After a little more than a minute of talking with the door open, Schimmel rips Augustus out of the car and throws her to the ground to arrest her.
I'm not going to ask you any questions right now. What I am going to tell you is you were pulled over for your speed and your headlight, okay? Your speed was 37 and then 30, not that big of a deal, and your headlight was out on your driver's side. Pulling you over to let you know. If you would have just given me your license and your registration like I asked you to do, you would have gone away for warning tonight, okay? But however, since you decided to pull this right here, where you don't want to comply, you don't want to give me your ID, and you think you're going to run the scene, you're now going to jail. Do you understand? You were not. How many times did I ask you? You were not. I've got a body cam on. It'll show you not pulling your ID out. When I ask you to step out of the vehicle, you step out of the vehicle. You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job.
In addition, his clear hostility towards Augusta that day, other videos show Schimmel having a temper flare up with a senior citizen.
You know, not plug up the whole damn parking lot.
Okay, well, the problem here, sir, is that she pulled in here. I didn't pull her in here, so get off my scene. Get off my scene.
There's also video of Schimmel admitting to a colleague he had lied when he told Augusta he had her refusal on camera, because in fact, he had not turned his camera on at that point.
What you got?
Pull over for headlight and speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another ½ inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. Tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pulled her ass out, put her in arm bars, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
She said she's 18.
Okay.
So she's going to go to jail. Of course, my body cam just didn't turn on when I told it to.
Augustus's family also obtained and released Officer Schimmel's body camera. The camera wasn't running during the first part of the traffic stop and is only turned on after Augustus is on the ground. Her ID can be seen within arm's reach of her on the ground while she's being arrested. Augustus was charged with refusal to identify herself, resisting arrest, and speeding. The resisting arrest charge was later dropped, but a trial was set for October for her to fight the charge of failing to identify herself. Her dad, Brent, was shocked when he found out she had been arrested.
She's a captain in her show choir. She's a part of the Columbia City High School EMT training program. She volunteers at church and youth leadership programs, and she is wanting to study political science and pre-law.
To hear that your daughter was arrested doesn't really fit her character.
It doesn't fit the character, no.
They hired a lawyer and were patient for months, thinking the prosecutor was going to drop the charges.
We had trusted the system to work, and the prosecutor as well as our town council just failed at every step.
That's why they released this video to the public. The backlash was swift and quick. The town council initially released a statement saying the interaction between Officer Schimmel and Augustus was flawed but not worthy of dismissal. 7 days after they released this video, the Whitley County prosecutor dropped the charges. He told me the main reason for doing so was because Officer Schimmel would not have been credible on the stand. The same day the charges were dropped, Officer Schimmel was fired from the department.
Continuing coverage tonight of a story we first brought you at 5. A South Whitley police officer no longer on the department.
And charges against an 18-year-old girl are now dropped in connection to the case that started as a traffic stop.
Now let's perform an autopsy and analysis of this incident. But first note that this video is for information only and is not intended to provide specific legal advice about a person, case, or to establish an attorney-client relationship. Here, a special shout-out should go to Attorney John H. Bryan of the Civil Rights YouTube channel. I believe he was the first to break this story, which helped to bring justice on behalf of Vivian Augusta. A link to his channel is in our description. Tell me in the comments if you think a police officer might ever consider not turning on their body camera before engaging in an encounter. Do you think there should be situations in which a police officer should be allowed to turn off their camera? Why and why not? Officer Schimmel attempted to use a high-pressure psychological bluff to break a teenager's resolve. By claiming his camera was recording her alleged disobedience, he sought a false admission of guilt from her to justify his violence. He bet on her fear, but he lost to her composure. The very camera technology he tried to weaponize ultimately exposed his dishonesty. There is a specific reason the prosecutors are reluctant to drop meritless cases at the beginning. In the legal arena, dismissing a case like these are often viewed as an implicit admission of departmental wrongdoing. Many people believe that prosecutorial agencies are often more concerned about protecting the public treasury from lawsuits than from misconduct. Among the potential legal claims that may be considered in this case are 1. Battery, which is the intentional use of physical force and violence resulting in injurious contact during the extraction. 2. Official misconduct, which is the knowing performance of forbidden acts and the fabrication of evidence regarding body camera footage. 3. Unlawful search and seizure, consists of the warrantless invasion of the vehicle's interior after the subject was already secured in custody. 4. False arrest, which is the unlawful restraint of liberty for a refusal to identify while the identification was in plain view. 5. Section 1983, civil rights violation, consists of the deprivation of a person's constitutional protections under the color of law, specifically regarding excessive force. 6. Malicious prosecution, which is the initiation of criminal proceedings for an improper purpose without probable cause to support the charges. If this video has told you something, please tap the bell and hit the subscribe button for the 4 Eyes of Law. Now check out this next video.